What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You would tune in to Uncle D. D's Black Man Talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something and you earn something. And let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Turn it Spurling, this ain't Furling, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you've been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Floby and cut your own damn hair from now on.
Accept reproductive rights, which, if you follow the news, is the most important issue for women. Isn't it important for you all?
Absolutely.
A settling trend has emerged. The liberals have lost the presidential race. And rather than examining the shortcomings of Kamala Harris's campaign, of the media is directing blame towards black men. Black men somehow bear responsibility for this outcome, as if our choices at the ballot box were an act of betrayal.
Quit breaking my heart.
Hey, Big Bass.
Ooh, quit breaking my heart. Oh,
You hate black women. You can't say you don't now.
They'll start killing you young one by one by one. They gonna start killing y'all.
When the police got your ass in the mother chokehold.
Don't you come calling black women. Don't you come calling us to come march for your ass.
Cause y'all just fucking hate women. That's all it is. Of course they wouldn't go vote for no black lady. When you a black woman surrounded by black men, what? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who just hates everybody?
Bad guy, blame me, never faded. How you be the most loved and the most hated? Every other race you respect overrated. The greatest of all time first got created. Yeah, bad guy, blame me, never faded. How we be the most loved and the most hated. Every other race you respect overrated. Greatest of all time first got created. Ooh. You can scrub me, or even thug me. Baby, even at my worst, they still love me. How he locked up, she loyal to a known G. To leave your husband, he ain't giving you strong D. Gotta tighten up, when we on your defense. A lot of debauchery popping in the deep end. See, your corners ain't shutting down, hit the bench. A lot of suckers sipping on the Kool-Aid, you a simp. Bring it back home to the streets. Like father, like son, Lil Meech, Big Meech. Like Bronny and his dad, footsteps trying to follow. We ain't gonna let you make a nigga endorsing Kamala. Black men celebrate, pop a few bottles. Middle fingers up, rest in peace, now follow. Most loved, most hated, most hated. We passing out fades, anybody wanna fade it? Be careful what you wish for, all my lovely ladies. Cause every baby terminated, God gon' make you haters. Most loved, most hated, most hated. Passing out fades, anybody wanna fade it? Careful what you wish for, all my lovely ladies. Cause every baby terminated, God gon' make you haters on. That guy, blame me, never faded. How we be the most loved and the most hated? Every other race you respect overrated. Greatest of all, the first got created. Bad guy, blame me, never faded. How you be the most loved and the most hated? Every other race you respect overrated. Greatest of all time first got created. Black men, they told us they ain't even want us. No matter what is going on, put the blame on us. Kevin spoke up, then they put the shame on us.
Brother Spurling met his fiance in my mixed group. That's my wife. I'm gonna put her through law school. She's gonna become an attorney at my practice. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Blizzard King defended him, they put the flames on him. Election time, white women went Trump crazy. Left you standing there talking about deleting babies.
Black women so goddamn stupid. that y'all just allow society to say that she's a black woman.
Not hers, Maria, Jackie Chan. You the only one that went against your man. You the only one that's fighting for every plan. You the only one that left you right where you stand. Power is a mother. Ain't it? Make a woman wanna be a nah, ain't it? That's your uncle, but she used to be your auntie. We don't wanna see you in power, that's how you paint it. Original Big Mama, original Miss Mammy, original Ma Dear.
I'm Donald Trump's new communication director because all the rest of them sorry asses got fired.
Yeah, original Black Granny. What happened to you? You fell for the eye candy. Left your black man, your black family. Took them handouts, them goodies and giveaways. Just look around your hood. See, this the price you pay.
In Georgia, it was even worse. One exit poll said that 69% of white women voted for Trump. Even after he took away their reproductive rights and was found liable for sexual assault, the majority of white women voters still chose patriarchy over their own liberation.
Message.
It's that simple.
Bad guy, blame me, never faded. How you be the most loved and the most hated? Every other race you respect overrated. The greatest of all time first got created. Ooh.
That 69% of white women voted for Trump.
Yeah, bad guy, blame me, never faded. How we be the most loved and the most hated. Every other race you respect overrated. Greatest of all time first got created. Ooh.
69% of white women voted for Trump.
Yeah, I'm tired. Ooh. I'm tired. Black women, it's time for us to clock out. It's time for us to clock out. I'm telling you. When all the immigrants,
few moments
all the Puerto
later.
Ricans start getting deported, we clocked out. We not riding.
This day. On August 15th, 1947, men and women all over India rejoiced in the declaration of the independence of the country of India. Today, on August 15th, 2020, I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. So I hope you celebrate today, and then tomorrow, I hope you join me in getting to work.
Is this your king? Is this your king?
The 47th President of the United States.
The former president's comeback will be complete with a win in Wisconsin, a state that he narrowly lost 4 years ago. He's now the second president in U.S. history to win non-consecutive terms. The first was
My bad, can you guys hear me? Hit the number one button. My bad, y'all. Like I'm saying, while you all couldn't hear me, I got caught up into that video, man. That was pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. Big shout out, real powerful. In fact, shout out to Big Bass Life.
I like to fuck and I like to fight. My name's Amanda Collins. I'm 6'1", 255 pounds. I'm here to call out Fabu and give her just what the fuck she done asked for.
Call me Brooke Fabu Tackett because I fuck a bitch up. I'm 6'1", 290 pounds and I leave a bitch laying on the ground.
This ain't gonna be no 304 bullshit for you though. I'm coming straight from the 276 out of West Virginia, baby. And I'm gonna rock your motherfucking meat box for you.
Represent the 606, come get it. Ain't none of you bitches got shit on me. You brave enough, come call me out. I fight men too, bitch. I fought a whole trailer park before. Come get it. Come on, come get it.
You can go ahead and call me Knoxville because I'm finna put your motherfucking ass to sleep. You done threatened me with a good time, darling. You should have done that. So what the fuck's up?
Man, what's up? I didn't mean to leave with that, man. I was over here pushing buttons. At least y'all see what I look at when I'm behind these scenes. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat room. You see Uncle D got his hairline back. I've been fighting to get my hairline back, baby. I got it back finally. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Y'all hit the number one button, fam. What's up, man? Please, YouTube, don't demonetize this channel for that this particular broadcast for that cussing rednecks. There's this channel called Redneck Fights on Facebook, man. It's hilarious. But anyway, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Good to see y'all in here. Shout out to Mark the Freelancer, Pooh Man 313, everybody else who's gonna come through, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. So as we continue forward talking about what's relevant in the news, Trump's cabinet. I mean, talk about no DEI hires in there, man. Everybody is smart people, very vocal people, very educated people. And one in particular, Matt Gaetz, who's been nominated for the Attorney General of the United States. It looks like that man has beef because they accuse him of some horrible accusations, and it's on, But what we see happening right now, fam, is we see a shift in how our government works, and I think it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So before we get started with it, again, my name is Dennis Spurling, also known as the Blizzard King. Y'all make sure y'all go over to the Blizzard King channel and subscribe. Over here, we all business. Over there, we're going to have a good time. But I want to make sure you guys stay educated on what's happening and what's popping, because Black people, especially Black men, went out on a big ledge. We went on the ledge voting for Donald Trump. It was new. Many of us have been ostracized from our families. All my brothers out there who voted for Trump, all the sisters out there who voted for Trump, man, you kind of feeling the heat. People talking about abandoning us in the street. They calling you all kind of names. But at the end of the day, we don't really care. You see what I mean? We're going to do what's in our best interest. As I tell you guys all the time, I expect y'all to vote your interest. So here's the thing. Make sure if you hear something you like, if you enjoy the broadcast, show your support. This channel has been shadow banned. So unless you guys actually contribute to the super chat or the Cash App, which is running across the bottom of the screen, I ain't going to make no money. Nevertheless, as I said earlier, bam, we're at the start of a major shift in how the United States government works, and it's going to reverberate down to the state governments. This particular election, it wasn't just about picking a leader. It was about demanding real change, and people want accountability, fairness, and opportunity. And President Trump has answered the call with, these are not just smart people, but they're also loyal. So in Trump's first foray into the presidency, he picked a lot of loyal people, but they weren't smart. They didn't know their job. He then picked some smart people, but they weren't loyal. So that didn't work out very well. That's why there was a lot of people getting fired early on in his administration. It kind of looked bad. It looks like instability, looked like it was a clown show going on over there. Okay. But this particular group of people, and I'm not going to go over all of them, but what makes them stand out is their determination. Okay. They have personal and professional reasons to fix the very systems they're now leading. They've seen what's wrong and they're ready to make it right. Today we stand on the precipice of an extraordinary moment in our nation's history, a moment defined not just by electoral victories, okay, but by the overwhelming mandate of the American people to bring about real change. This mandate is not just about cosmetic reforms and symbolic gestures, okay? It's a demand for a seismic shift in how our government functions and how it serves our citizens. I want you guys to understand something. Joe Biden hired thousands of IRS agents. While we got people who can't afford to pay for gas, that was where his priorities were, taxing the people more. Joe Biden has sent billions of dollars to Ukraine, while we got people who can't afford to pay rent. So when I see this, when President Trump's team, the people he's assembled, all of these individuals, at first glance, you can see that they are very unconventional, and many of them are polarizing. But when you look deeper, you see the brilliance of the design. These appointees, all of them share one powerful and transformative quality. They all have unresolved battles with the very system they're now tasked to lead. They got beef. Just like we see them try to annihilate Donald Trump, they tried to take this man's wealth. They tried to take his freedom. And man, some believe they tried to take his life. That man has beef with this system. And he's coming in there with the wind at his back and with something serious on his mind. We can never let this happen to anybody again. And see, many of you, especially you brothers, man, the reason why a lot of black men identify with Donald Trump is not because he's over the top with his masculinity, is because we've had people come at us like that. We saw him as the underdog, being hounded by the Department of Justice, people trying to take his money, folks talking bad about him. We saw that. And we identify with that because a lot of us have been the underdog. So it's not a coincidence that he has a bunch of people who have unresolved battles, who have as they say, a chip on their shoulder. It's strategy. It's bold. It's unapologetic. It's designed to disrupt the entrenched bureaucracies and challenge those outdated norms and return power to the people. Now, every single one of these folks that he picked has a story. Many of them were underestimated. They were dismissed or outright opposed by the institutions that are now opposed to reform. And they all have something to prove, not to themselves, but to the American people. And they're united by a shared purpose to dismantle inefficiency and root out corruption and implement the transformative policies that our nation desperately needs. Now let's take a closer look at some of these folks. Now you guys probably don't care about this, but it's important to understand, okay? And we're not going to talk about some of the frivolous stuff going on. I want to talk about some serious things. Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is a representative. I believe he's from Florida. And he's been nominated by Donald Trump to oversee the Department of Justice. And this is nothing short of poetic, because here's a man who for years has been at odds with that very same Justice Department and facing allegations and investigations that many believe are politically motivated. Gaetz has seen firsthand what happens when the justice system is weaponized for partisan gain. And so who better to oversee, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, who better to oversee his transformation than one who has lived through his worst abuses? And Gaetz isn't just taking a seat in the DOJ, he's taking a stand for justice for all of us. Now, again, I'm not making this man a hero, but I do want you to hear his story.
In this country, they have prosecuted political opponents. They ran the Russia collusion hoax. And too many people in Washington, D.C. did not stand up against what was happening there. And many Americans are upset about it. Matt Gaetz is one of the most effective people at fighting that Russia collusion hoax and other information operations, whether it was the Brett Kavanaugh information.
So Matt Gaetz has been a supporter of Donald Trump since he came in office. This is a young cat. I don't know him. I definitely didn't vote for him, but I do recognize that he is going to be a disruptor. He's going to be the instrument that Donald Trump, who is a disruptor, uses to break up the Department of Justice. And for all you black people out there, I'm going to ask you a question. When has the Department of Justice ever been our friend, collectively speaking? Because what I do recall is it prosecuted a lot of black people, a lot of our black leaders. I know that Department of Justice charges a lot of black people and they undercharge people of other ethnicities. I'm just pointing it out. So why do we care? This is very interesting. We are seeing something like a serious shakeup. You see, same thing goes for the FBI. You know, ask Brother Malcolm, ask Martin Luther King if the FBI was his friend. You understand me? So anyway, this cat right here, and they're going to talk about it a little bit more. Matt Gaetz allegedly had, or here's what's happened. Okay, here's the allegation. He was investigated by the House Ethics Committee, okay, for allegedly having sex with a young woman who was 17 years old at the time, who was, in addition to that, a lady of the night. Somebody typed lady of the night in the chat room. Okay, so she was a lady of the night. Her and her friend went from Florida and they flew up to New York. In Florida, 17 is illegal. Okay, in New York, 17 is legal. So they went from Florida to New York, where he allegedly was, blowing a back out on a pool table somewhere by a swimming pool, something like that. And there's allegedly a friend who saw him do that. Now, here's the cold part about it. The cold part about it, the way in which the Department of Justice found out about this was they had somebody who was already under indictment for committing some crimes. And any of you guys who know how the federal judicial system works, they have these mandatory minimums. They have these sentencing guidelines, and you're going to get it. Okay, even if you cooperate, you smile a lot, the judge is bound by those sentencing guidelines unless somebody type unless in the chat room, somebody type unless you can give the Federal Bureau of Investigation somebody else that they can throw under the bus. It doesn't even have to be a related crime. So there was a person who apparently knew Matt Gaetz who said, well, you know what, that Congressman Matt Gaetz, he and I used to hang out and smash broads together. And one of them is this 17-year-old girl. So he basically turned evidence against Matt Gaetz in exchange, I'm assuming in exchange for a lesser sentence. And so that already looks suspicious. Somebody type suspicious in the chat room. That already looks suspicious. And so the DOJ then took that information and then they tracked down the young lady. And I say that with a caveat, they tracked down the young lady, and she verified that the story. And but the DOJ investigated, and they hate this man because remember, this man was coming down on them for coming down on Trump. And but the DOJ investigated, they say there's nothing there. Okay, the House Ethics Committee was supposed to come up with an investigative report, but then once Donald Trump said, well, I want this young man to be my attorney general, he said, okay, well, I'm not going to be a House representative anymore. Hell, I'm out. I'm going to be a attorney general. So he dropped that. I mean, the House reps are only there for 2 years. Senators are there for 6 years. Attorney general is there for at the will of the president, but typically 4 years. And so that's a very significant high position for any politician. Okay. Nevertheless, he's like, yeah, I don't need to be a state rep anymore. I'm out. And so there's no need for them to release the report. But now you got the so-called report being leaked. Okay. And they're doing that just so when the Senate confirmation hearing comes up, because these people who are going to be President Trump's advisors and over these different departments, they have to get Senate confirmation. In other words, a majority of the senators, there's 100 of them, have to say, yeah, we'll put the stamp of approval on this cat. He can come work for you. That's checks and balances. I know you're bored. I know y'all bored. I know this is bored, but it's so important to understand. So what we see happening is this so-called report, which was supposed to be coming from the House of Representatives, this ethic reports on this guy Matt Gaetz, they're gonna leak it. They're gonna leak it so that it'll be in the news, so the senators can ask him questions about it and disparage this man, because they don't want Matt Gaetz. He has beef with the system. Remember, they do not. Well, imagine you got a problem with somebody and you going after them, and next thing you know, they're your boss. Or they got the power to hire and fire you or put you in jail. Imagine that. Or imagine if the script was flipped, your worst enemy that you have beef with, now you're his employer. Think about that. Matter of fact, it's even what you can put, matter of fact, imagine being a CO in the penitentiary and your worst enemy that you hated your whole life is now incarcerated and ain't no rules. There's a lot of blind spots in the prison. See, that's what's going on right now. They do not want this man to have power over them. And so it's a big deal. But this is the man that Donald Trump put in place for that purpose, because he got beef with the Department of Justice. He's going to go in there and fire everybody.
Information operation, the Donald Trump Russia collusion hoax information operation, or the one that is referenced here, which is something that the FBI and Department of Justice, which hate Matt Gaetz, looked into and cleared him of any wrongdoing. The idea that this is about the issue is corruption. It's the Department of Justice's corruption. And people are sick and tired of people in Washington, D.C. doing nothing as these people try to destroy the country and getting upset at someone who actually might root out the corruption there. We don't have a Department of Justice. We have a Department of Injustice. And that's why you get.
See, what you got to understand is Trump is putting bulldogs in office. I mean, he's not going to have to say nothing. Matt Gaetz is going to be so pissed. He's young. He's only 40 years old. You ain't got to tell. He's going to go after everybody, man. That's what they're afraid of. Like, you're about to see a low-key civil war happen in these, it's about, they about to gut it. You understand me? It's about to be straight up beef.
Get Matt Gaetz as a nominee.
This is the same testimony that was, again, dropped by the DOJ and the FBI because these people were not credible.
And so that's what they're referring to, those people that I just told you about. They weren't credible. DOJ don't like this man. And they say, man, we don't even have a case. And they dropped the case. And now they're trying to leak this same report, a similar report into why do it? We know why you do it.
And I will say that for the senators that are coming forward and stating that they need to read this testimony, let's look into these people's stocks portfolios and how they're becoming multimillionaires off of $175,000 a year. The reason why people want outsiders, the reason why people are not buying this Gaetz smear campaign, and that is exactly what it is because of the fact that they understand that there is a two-tier justice system. You know, you mentioned earlier that I do think the DOJ is corrupt. So the fact is that Matt Gaetz has, again, time and time again, stood up to the swamp. Frankly, I know him as a person. I know his family. And I've been able to be privy to the conversations behind closed doors of members looking forward to this leaked ethics report because they know that it's going to smear him. I'm not going to.
I got somebody in the chat room, my man right here. He says this. So he said, you're happy there were no black people in office. Matt Gaetz is a terrible pick. Okay, so let's analyze what you just said. I just sat here and explained why Donald Trump picked Matt Gaetz. The reason he picked Matt Gaetz is because that man has a fire in his belly. He has beef with the Department of Justice. Okay, that's the number one thing. So he's going to go in there and clean house if he gets appointed attorney general. He's going to clean house, and then he's going to go after everybody that Trump wants him to go after without Trump having to say a damn thing to him. It's on. He's going to unleash that tornado in the Department of Justice. Let me ask you something, Mr. S.K. Simmons. Do you like the way the Department of Justice is operating right now? Let me ask you that. Here's another one for you, okay? Let me ask you this. You said, so I'm happy there were no black people in office. All right, well, let's think of some black people that we can put in Trump's cabinet, since you want some DEI hires. How about Lori Lightfoot? Where all my people from Chicago at? How about Lori Lightfoot? Let's get Lori Lightfoot in there. Well, you know what? Matter of fact, how about Brandon Johnson? He's a guy from Chicago. You want to put Brandon Johnson as the cabinet member? Is that what you want? Or better yet, Kamala Harris has a law license. We can make Kamala Harris the attorney general. Is that what you want? So let's analyze this, because see, you got to set aside this identity politics. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. Not all kinfolk are skin folk. Yeah, Fannie Willis. Let's put Fannie Willis as the attorney general. She can prosecute some more rappers under the RICO charge. What I'm trying to explain to you, brother, and everybody else who may have this sort of feeling, why ain't no black people in the office? Sometimes you got to go with the best person. I don't care about representation. I just want to win. You understand me? I don't care about representation. I just want to win. And here's the thing you got to understand, my brother. What black person is he going to choose? Because last time I checked, about 92% of black people voted against him. So why would he choose? I just told you that his new cabinet is going to be people who are smart and loyal. I'm not saying they're not smart. I'm saying they're not loyal. Who is he going to choose from? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to not be emotional in your conversation. You have to be, your logic, you got to throw that out the window. Would you rather, you on a plane with your whole family, your children, your wife, you're on the plane with a family. You got an old white guy in the seat, 55, 60 years old. He's been flying planes 30 years, no issues. And then you got somebody who they pulled off the street, who's been maybe may not be trained very well, who has a sketchy track record. He's black though. So do you want that black man flying your plane with your family on it? Or do you want that white man who has experience doing this and has been doing it a while and has no bad track record? Who you want? You want Lori Lightfoot? Or you want somebody else who's quiet? You got to ask yourself these questions. So you got to get out of the emotion. I'm just saying, who do you want operating on your child? The best person or somebody who's a DEI hire and was brought in from the color of their skin? What does that have to do with this person's ability to operate on my child? You got to ask yourself these questions. You got to get over the emotions of it. You got to get over the I guess we would call it identity politics. That's not us. Put the best person in the game, man. There was a time when white folks would just let white folks play football and basketball, even if they had a black player on the team who could play well. But then somebody said, well, shit, man. I think Bear Bryant down in Alabama said, I need to get some of these black dudes on the team. I don't care what you think. I'm going to put the best man on the field. So he's putting the best person on the field because, see, man, I'm more concerned with my gas prices and my food prices and the fact that the United States and the rest of the world looks like it's teetering on World War III. You got this fool Biden who just authorized Ukraine to send missiles into Russia, American missiles. It's going to say made in the USA, and it's going to hit some apartment buildings in Russia. That's going to be beef, man. This is what this man is doing. This man is going out with a bang. You understand? That DEI hire is dead. I want my prices low. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So you got to get over. Am I happy that there are no black people in all? I want the most qualified. I wouldn't care if they were orange. I need you to get over that. But anyway, shout out to everybody. Thank you so much, brother Simmons, for your comment. There's a lot of people thinking like that. Do you want the best? Or do you want somebody that looks like you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Now, there's a time and a place when you want somebody looking like you around you. But at this point, I want the best. I want the best people. I want people who can work with Donald Trump and do what I want him to do in office. Keep my taxes low, shake the system up, get these, take this world off of world war footing. That's what I want. Now, let's move on. Shout out to everybody who's in the super chat. We 30 minutes in. Y'all need to go ahead and contribute to these super chats. Don't make me have me up here working for free. I got to pay for this haircut. Clean, baby, clean. Anyway, the next person, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He is the son of Robert F. Kennedy Sr., who was JFK's brother who got shot. Okay, he was also the Attorney General of the United States, and he got shot when he was running for president. But anyway, he's no stranger to controversy. He's the one that talks with the raspy voice. He has had some tough things to say to these public health agencies. For decades, RFK Jr. has been an outspoken critic of the regulatory agencies like the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, and the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, accusing them of being more beholden to corporate interests than the science of public welfare. Why do we have an increased risk of Down syndrome? You know, why is it that our food is making us fat and making us sick? The first thing he said he's going to do is make Coca-Cola start putting real cane sugar back in Coca-Cola and its products instead of high fructose syrup. Now, my thing is this, shout out to all my people in Louisiana. What is that going to do for the sugarcane industry in Louisiana when he forces Coca-Cola to start using pure sugarcane again? What is that going to do for us? What is that going to do for my people in Louisiana? It's going to revitalize the whole industry. Instead of having a chemical plants whipping up that crap, that high fructose corn syrup that makes everybody fat and out of shape, because that's what happened. In the 1970s, we were thin. And it wasn't until they start putting that high fructose corn syrup in all of our food that black folks and everybody else gained weight. I want you to look at that. All organic means is we're not going to put the stuff in it that we've been putting in it since the 1970s. Okay? That's when people start getting fat. I want you to look back. Shout out to my man Urban Eagle for being the first one to contribute to the Super Chat. Good looking out. So JFK Jr. said he's going to come in and regulate. You fat bodies, you're going to start losing weight. All of a sudden, like, damn, I can put the Ozempic down. I don't need no more. Golly. You understand what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. Okay? But the more important thing is that his appointment sends a clear message that the era of bureaucratic stagnation in the public is over. It's a wrap. And with Kennedy at the helm, we can expect to return to transparency and accountability and evidence-based policy. I like that. I like that, fam. You know, Marco Rubio, okay? Marco Rubio. Shout out to my man TIQS. Good looking out, man. Thank you for being the second person to contribute to the Super Chat. Maybe if I turn this music on, y'all are getting the mood. let's put a little music on in the background, a little sound in the background. You know what I'm talking about? So I can get into my flow. But yeah, so Marco Rubio, Cuban born, you know the guy. He ran for president. Shout out to my man Kevin King. Thank you so much. Coca-Cola ways better, tastes better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because they don't use all that stuff. My man Black Samurai Trump is going to reset everything in 2025. Keep it up, Monk. I love it, man. I want to live in a better place, man. I'm tired of having when I go overseas, and I'm gonna go off on a tangent for a minute. When I go overseas, man, and I stay over there for a month or two, I'm eating as much. I'm eating good, man. All my dudes who go to the DR, shout out to my man Red Sigma. Guys who go to the DR, man, you get that good food and you lose weight. You walking more, you're losing weight, and you wonder, like, I'm eating more. I'm eating healthy food, healthy meat, healthy fish, but I'm gaining weight, man, over here in the United States. And I'm not even eating as much. Shout out to my man CB4 is 40. And so it's the food, it's not you. You can exercise, you can run, you can do whatever the hell you want to, but as long as you're getting that high fructose corn syrup, as long as you're getting all those ingredients, that unhealthy stuff, you're going to keep gaining weight, man. There's nothing you can do about it. It makes no sense that America should be this fat. Our cereal, the stuff you think you got whole grains in your cereal, all that is smashed up stuff they done put together and baked, and they putting it in a corn box with some color and feeding it to your kids. And you're eating it too. And you wonder why we have so many issues with health. If we can cut back on the issues with health, America would be a lot healthier. So I like this, man. And my man earlier was like, you ain't upset that he ain't got no black people. Why ain't no black people on the wall, Sal? Look, let this man do what he do. You understand? Let him do what he do. But it's back to Marco Rubio. He's been very vocal at the State Department. He hasn't always done enough to show America's strength. Okay, that's what he's saying. And Rubio has experienced to challenge these outdated systems and to bring in a fresh perspective. And his frustrations with past mistakes it isn't personal. It drives him to improve and get things done. Okay, so the other thing you got to understand, all of these people are relatively young, so they're going to be here for a minute. Okay, they're going to be here for a minute, and they're all people that Trump can work with. That's the other thing. What's the point of putting him in the office with a mandate and he can't work with these people? The whole team, they all have one thing in common. They aren't okay with how things are. They aren't okay with how things have been. They're here to challenge the status quo, to question this broken system, and to make bold changes. And their frustrations with these institutions are the same that we have with the institutions, right? I'm sure they are. And some of you guys brought up Linda McMahon. You guys know what the WWE is, or WWF. She has a background in business and professional wrestling. And I know that seems unconventional for an education secretary, but as an outsider, with that status, it makes her the perfect choice. She's criticized the educational system. Its lack of innovation and lack of responsiveness to parents' needs. She's criticizing. And as she's someone who built a multi-billion-dollar enterprise from the ground up. She knows how to manage large organizations and drive efficiency and focus on outcomes. And see, her beef with the educational bureaucracy is a reflection of every parent's frustration with a system that too often fails to serve the most important stakeholders, and that's our children. Your kids aren't learning a damn thing. They just, especially if you live in the Black community, how many children? I think it's like less than 10% of Black children in Baltimore and those inner city schools can even read on their level. You understand what I'm saying? They can't even read. And you think you want to keep things going the same way? I don't think so, fam. I don't think so. I don't think that's what we did. I don't think that's what we voted for. I don't think so at all. The other thing is, man, I like the fact that he's pulling people out of the business, private sector to come in and wreck shop. We got too many politicians who've been promoted and put in positions that they're not qualified. They haven't built a damn thing. They haven't built a business. Many of them hadn't had a real job. All they've done is work in government. And we need government to work more like private business. America's a corporation. Why wouldn't we have corporate leaders running our corporation? Lean, mean, efficient. Now, that being the case, we got the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, or at least the richest man we know on paper. And him and Vivek Ramaswamy, and these cats, these two dudes, whether you like them or not, they're going to lead a department called, somebody type dog in the chat room. They're going to lead a department called the Department of Government Efficiency. Somebody type dog in the chat room. They dog. You're going to put that dog on them. You understand me? Hit the #1 button. I know you're bored as hell. I don't care. You're going to learn something today. Somebody type learn you in the chat rooms. And shout out to Eyes Open. Oh my goodness. Eyes, y'all help me pronounce this. Eyes Open Edify. Open Defy. You got me beat with that one. I don't know that one, baby. Anyway, type dog in the chat room. I can spell that. I don't know what you said, baby girl, but good looking out. Thank you so much for the super chat. But back to what I was saying. These two guys who are going to be leading dog, Vivek and Elon, they're disruptors by nature. Okay, and they built their careers by challenging old ways of doing things, and now they're set to streamline the government and cut waste, which is exactly what many Americans have been calling for. Aren't you tired of paying for things that you don't see? We got broken roads, we got busted roads, we got bridges falling down. Okay, you call the ambulance to see what time they show up. Or call the police when you really need one. We got some raggedy streets out here, and we giving our money away to people who are just coming up here over the border. Are you serious? Now I want you to think about that. Shout out to my man Timothy Rushton. Think about that. I like the fact that they're going to streamline the government and cut waste, because that's our money. That's our tax dollars. That's what we want. These two dudes, two oddballs too. I'm gonna tell you, Elon Musk, he might be rich, him and Vivek, they're two odd dudes. But they're titans in innovation and they're spearheading the new Department of Government Efficiency. And their mission is straightforward as it is revolutionary. Dismantle the unnecessary bureaucracy, slash wasteful spending, and streamline government process to serve people more effectively. So what does that mean? That means all those different departments and buildings and whatnot, you don't need all that. And you don't need all those people. All the billions and billions of dollars that we spend on payroll, unnecessary. Because that comes back to the American public, and they don't do anything. That's the other part. That's the big part. Shout out to my man Cody Marshall. Thank you so much for the cash up. We need them to go to Washington with that same dismantling mentality and dismantle some of those unnecessary institutions in Washington. We need them to go in there and challenge some of those entrenched interests. And I like the fact that they're rich. That means they can't be bought. You can't bribe the richest man in the world. Who are you gonna bribe? He got all the money anyway. They often have these people that show up at your front door and say, hey man, if you do this, I'll give you a few dollars. These special interest groups, they hire lobbying firms. How you gonna lobby somebody who's worth $300 billion? Shout out to my man Stoic Moad. Thank you for what you do, Uncle D. I hope I can reach out to you for a quick consultation. Yeah, man. Speaking of which, yeah, if you want to do a consultation with me, I'm available. Hit me up at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. I'm doing consultations. Y'all can come through and hit me up. I got reasonable prices too, man. I got reasonable prices. I charge you about an hour. But yeah, definitely, if you want to do a consultation with me, man, hit me up. Email me at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. But back to Vivek. The fact that these men, I mean, I want y'all to understand something. All of these people are taking a pay cut. They're already rich. That's the most patriotic thing they can do, is literally taking a pay cut, time out their day to come in and run the government and get it right back on track. And so we need to be happy with what they do. I'm looking forward to it. It can't be worse than what we got now. Shout out to my man TIQS. Thank you so much. So, and here's something I need y'all to understand. Look, shout out to my people in the, you're not gonna like this, the DMV. Somebody type DMV. Somebody type DMV in the chat room. It's a lot of people in the DMV, and I'm not talking about the Department of Motor Vehicles. Something you all need to understand. DC, Maryland, Virginia area, all them snooty rich black folk up there. I know what you're doing up there. You're living good. I need you to understand something. Listen to me. Here's some game. Y'all get in tight. The Supreme Court's reclassification of government employees has fundamentally altered the playing field. Okay? See, there was a time when federal workers were shielded by a near impermeable layer of protection. But see, now it's different. Now they have a more of accountability framework in place. In the days of being untouchable, simply by virtue of the fact that you were a government worker, you had that good government job that they couldn't fire you from. Those days are over. See, that Supreme Court ruling, it creates a fertile ground for a team like Vivek and Elon, the disruptors, who have no qualms taking a scalpel to bloated agencies and a wrecking ball to the inefficiencies that have plagued our system for decades. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, you government employees, whether you be in DC or all around America, you need to be clear. This isn't about just a mere policy. It's about structural change. Okay? And many of you all you folks in DC, in Maryland and Virginia, you spent your lives building careers in the government. And you right now finding yourself on precarious ground. This message is clear to me. Tenure alone is no longer a guarantee of job security if you work for the government. Loyalty to the public mission, productivity, and alignment with the evolving goals of these agencies will now take precedence over everything else. See, this shift is harsh, but it reflects a sentiment of American people who feel that our tax dollars have been wasted propping up inefficiencies. The federal workforce has been criticized for a long time. It's too large. It's too large, it's too slow, and it's too resistant to change. And with this team in place, these criticisms are not just being heard. They're going to be addressed. In other words, some of y'all going to get fired. Shout out to my man Simeon Toko. Thank you so much. It's going to be a lot of firing going on in D.C. And it's going to be a lot of people who got used to getting that government money, that good government job money. You're going to be up out of there. And I'm telling you something, the number one employer of black women, baby, I love you. I want you to hear me, though. You better go get you a man now. You better go get you a man. Let me tell you what it's not time for. Let me tell you right now. This is what it's not time for.
Stop having sex for the next 4 years. In protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency health care, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex.
You need to put
Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the Handmaid's Tale, then us women need to protest because this is some buttery bullshit. I'm sorry to the women and minorities who aren't going to get the help that they need in the next 4 years. I'm sorry for the people who are impoverished who are just going to keep dying from starvation. And
you better, y'all, all don't listen to her. All you women out there, you better put that thing to use. You better try to trap you a man with that thing right quick before you lose that government job. That's what you better do. Don't pay attention to her. You better get on out there and get you a man. This ain't the time to be holding back. It's time for you ladies to go all in. All in. You need to go all in, girl. Ain't no time to be holding back. Look at that little mustache, though. Boy, I tell you, look at that.
Healthcare.
Ooh, look at that little mustache around. How you get your lip? She need a little around the lip. You know what I'm saying? Little skin lightener or something like that. Make this a little bigger. Look at the little. She need to get a little skin lightener around there. Cause she got how that happened? I don't know. Anyway, that got me distracted a little bit. But anyway, let's get back to what I'm saying. This is what matters, okay? Trump's picks were not random. They're strategic, and these are people with the passion, the purpose, and the experience to make real change happen. And that beef, the conflicts they have with these agencies, that they now are going to actually be strength. That's what's going to keep them motivated. It means they'll bring fresh ideas and aren't afraid to make tough decisions. We shouldn't fear leaders who want to shake things up. We should welcome them. And this team is bringing a new approach, one that values accountability, innovation, and the willingness to challenge outdated tradition. This isn't a cabinet of insiders. It's a cabinet of fighters. People who've earned their place through hard work and determination, who are deeply committed to serving the American people. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is real change. That's why we voted for that man, and it's long overdue. So the thing is, I also want to say this. Look, it's a lot of people in D.C., and they're afraid. Trump's team is there to shake things up. These entrenched bureaucrats, they're going to lose their grip on power. And Trump's team is, we want them to go in there and turn up. They spent decades building systems that protect their power, not the American people. They've surrounded themselves with allies. They created layers of inefficiency and made the government so complicated that it's almost impossible to hold anyone accountable. But now, those same people are staring down a cabinet full of fighters who see through their games and are ready to break the monopoly of control. These leaders aren't here just to maintain the system. They're supposed to be doing something for us, the American people. And these new folks are coming in to make some change. And these people, they're scared to death. You understand me? They are scared to death. Don't think they're not. So it's time to break up. See, normally the appointees are from the DC club. Do you know what Trump did? Normally, there's something called a transition team. And the transition team consists of DC insiders that the president, like President Biden, if he's we'll give you our transition team so that they can show you who you need to appoint. So you go up there to Washington, D.C., and they get you in the room, And they say, yeah, we're the transition team. Congratulations, Mr. President-elect. You know what Trump said? Say, hell no. He said, I'm going to be down in Mar-a-Lago with my own people, with my own list, making my own phone calls. I don't even want your transition team because all the DC transition team does is go run back and report back to the insiders who he's thinking about. You see, these people were basically groomed for these positions by these think tanks and other insiders. But see, Trump's team and his transition team, they are looking for people with real world experience, people with grit who come to fight a battle. Okay, and I like that. Whether it's the UN ambassador, whether it's Howard Lutnick, who's going to be the new commerce secretary, whether we're talking about Kristi Noem, who's going to be the secretary of Homeland Security. I like that. I like what they. Of course, we all know Tom Homan. Boy, we know Tom Homan already. He's going to be the one who runs, be the border czar. You understand? So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see some disruption. I want to see some change. And the thing is, you can already see there's resistance already. They're already starting. The bureaucrats are leaking information. They're planting stories. They're trying to paint these people as radicals. But let's be clear. Their fear isn't about policy differences. It's about losing control. They know these appointees aren't here to play by the old rules. And so what do? Right? We watch. Okay? We hold the leaders accountable, but we also give them room to do their job. Okay? Do the job they were appointed to do. We celebrate the successes and we call out the roadblocks when they throw them in their way. Because remember, all this is supposed to be for us. Okay? All right? Y'all with me? Hit the #1 button. These people who are still clinging to power, these elites, they understand what's going on. Their time is up. And the American people have spoken. And we've chosen leaders who will take this fight to them. And this administration isn't here to negotiate with the status quo. It's here to replace it. And the days of unchecked power, unaccountable agencies, never-ending red tape, that needs to be over. Look, change is messy. It's loud, and yes, it's going to upset a lot of people who've grown comfortable. But this is what real progress looks like. And with this team of bold leaders, we're finally going to see something happen. And look, again, I'm going to tell y'all, ain't no DEI hires in this. All my black folks, when I look at this, group of people that Donald Trump, ain't not one black person. Not so far. Not a black person in the group. And some of y'all may have a problem with that. Right? Some of y'all got a problem with that. Let me put this up again. I want y'all to see what I'm saying. It's all white. I'm gonna put this up, man. Let y'all take a look at these hires. Let's look at Trump. Y'all seen the you guys have seen my thumbnail. Y'all like the thumbnail? Hit the #1 button if you like the thumbnail. Trump administration. Other than Vivek, there ain't no brown people up there. It's all white. See? And I know some folk have a problem with that. And my thing is this, for those of you who argue that President Trump's cabinet lacks so-called representation, like I said before, would we like to have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC? How about Lori Lightfoot? And what's that lady up in the mayor, what's she called, a super mayor? What's her name? The one they say is embezzling money and such. What's her name? Tiffany Henyard. Is that who you want him to put? How about Brandon Johnson? All my people in Chicago. You want Brandon Johnson in there? That's who you want? Sometimes representation is not what you need. We want effective. You think their mere presence is somehow going to right this ship? Look at all these black-run cities around America. Look at Fonnie Willis. Would you like her to be Tisha James? Would you, Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York? Is that what you want? Or do you want somebody who's effective? You need to, look, it's time to grow up. See, this is not the time for tokenism or identity politics. If the past several years have taught us anything, it is diversity for its own sake. Divorce from competence has been a receipt for disaster. Okay, look at Lori Lightfoot. She presided over a skyrocketing crime rate and economic decline during her tenure in Chicago as a mayor. Ran people out of Chicago. She campaigned on promises of reform and equity, but she delivered a city riddled with violence and dysfunction. Brandon Johnson, her successor, he's shown no signs of reversing this trend, doubling down on her politics that prioritize ideology over pragmatism. This is why you have a sanctuary city in a city that is already falling apart. Did he just try to get, he just tried to get $300 million in tax money out of Chicago. Each one of you aimed 300 million people in Chicago. He wanted 300 million. He wanted to tax. This is who you want? You just want black just to have black, huh? You got Chicago people, Chicagoans are fleeing in record numbers, searching for safety and opportunity elsewhere. And I told you about AOC. That only thing she's done is become a master of social media sound bites. But see, when it comes to actual legislative achievements, her record is abysmal. What has she done? She talks a big game about representing the working class, but undermines industries that provide likely livelihoods for millions, like energy and construction, all the while pushing policies that cripple the economy. They were supposed to put an Amazon factory in the Bronx, which would have gave jobs to hundreds of people and created industries all around it. She voted against it. The Bronx is one of the poorest boroughs in New York. I just want y'all to understand. This is the representation you want. Representation without competence is a recipe for disaster. I want the most competent person in. How about Kamala Harris? How about we just say, bury the hatchet. You see what she did as the border czar, right? She let 10 million people in. What do we get out of her? Other than the new word to our Trin de Agua. That's what we got. It was a complete abdication of responsibility, and the border crisis worsened under her so-called leadership with record-breaking levels of illegal crossings and humanitarian catastrophe unfolding before we see it. So look, DEI hires don't work, fam. Look, the truth is diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's been exposed for what it is. It's a distraction. And when leaders are chosen for their demographic attributes rather than their qualification, it creates a culture where mediocrity thrives and accountability evaporates. People who should be focused on solving problems become obsessed with checking boxes. It's no wonder that organizations and governments built on these principles fail to deliver meaningful results, and we see it play out before our eyes. Somebody type Tiffany Henyard in the back in the chat room. Y'all keep on playing these identity politics. We voted for Barack Obama in droves, and what did he give black people? What did he do for you? What did he do for you, fam? That was the biggest identity politics hoax ever played on black folks, and you got nothing out of it. The worst part is it's harmful because it breeds resentment among those who are qualified, and it creates a false sense of progress amongst those who are not. If the goal is to govern effectively, then we need to move away from the failed experiment of hiring based on appearance or background or sex or religion. We need to focus on competence. That's why your gas prices are so high. DEI hires. That's why you can't afford rent. DEI hires. See, President Trump's choices for his cabinet, it may not satisfy those clamoring for symbolic representation, but they're built on a different foundation: loyalty, merit, and commitment to delivering results. That's what I want. And this team of disruptors, this reformers, these innovators, these are people who understand the gravity of their roles and the stakes for the American people. True equality isn't about forcing diversity in the leadership roles where it doesn't belong. True equality is about giving every person the opportunity to rise and to earn their place and to succeed based on their abilities and contributions. It's about judging people not by the color of their skin, their gender, or their background, but by the content of their character and the strength of their resolve. Shout out to my man Logic Hits. Somebody said, he said, I'm putting Uncle D in charge of snowflake relations. Oh yeah, man, I talk nice to him. Go on over there and sit down, baby. Get out your son. You don't need that son. Go on over there and sit down. Anyway, shout out to everybody who's contributed to the super chat. We got 13. I like to get 20. I get 20 super chats. I feel like I earned it. You guys, I need 7 more super chats. That'd be great. But let me go ahead and get this in, man, because I don't want to be here all night. Okay, but we got a real mandate. Okay, and we want results over optics. Okay, and this administration doesn't have time for showmanship or virtue signaling. The challenges facing our nation and the world are too great. We're on the cusp of World War III, and we need bold action and decisive leadership, whether it's securing the borders or revitalizing the economy or restoring trust in our institutions. The president's team is focused on one thing, and that's getting the job done. You understand me? If you learn anything from Fonnie Willis, a Lori Lightfoot, a Tisha Henning, a Brandon Johnson, a AOC, or Kamala Harris, is that the American people deserve better. We deserve better. We deserve leaders who can deliver results, not excuses. Look at Kamala Harris's budget. That woman raised $1.5 billion and spent it all in 90 days. She spent all that money in 90 days. Can you imagine that? That's who you want in $20 million in debt. Is that who you want in charge of your hard-earned money? We want leaders who gonna fight for people, not people who want Twitter applause or X applause. We want people who understand their job is to serve the nation, not themselves. Look, as we move forward, let us leave behind the failed experiments of identity politics and DEI-driven hires. Let's instead focus on building a nation where the best and the brightest lead, where competence is valued above all, and where the promise of America is fulfilled for every citizen, not through empty gestures, but through real progress. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. What's happening now in Washington is long overdue. For decades, these bureaucrats and elites and self-appointed rulers have treated us like pawns on their chessboard. They ignored our struggles and mocked our values, and they weaponized their power to protect their own. They thought they were untouchable. But here's the cold, hard truth. They're not. This is poetic justice. The same people who use their influence to punish political opponents and overtax the American citizen and call us stupid and silence everyday Americans are now being forced to face the consequences of their arrogance. For years, they clung to power, building a fortress of regulations and red tape and corruption to insulate themselves from the people it was supposed to serve. Now they sneer at those who question them. They dismiss Trump as a fluke. They thought, oh, we got him. We hit him with them lawsuits. It always works. It didn't work. It didn't work. They were wrong. And now they're the ones under the microscope. They're the ones losing sleep. Oh, they can't sleep. They scrambling to protect their little crumbling stronghold. And let's be honest, they never thought this day would come. They never thought you ignorant Americans, you out of shape fat. All we got to do is keep giving them iPhones and feed them cheeseburgers, and we can keep getting rich. They never thought that someone would run up against this system and actually win. That's what old Orange Man did. Shout out to Trump. They never thought it. Teflon Don. They never thought it. They thought the game was rigged in their favor forever. But here's where it gets sweet. These swamp creatures, these swamp rats, somebody type swamp rats in the chat room. These swamp rats aren't just losing their grip, they're being replaced by people who have no patience for their games. And Trump's team isn't here to preserve the system. They're here to torch it, rebuild it, and finally make it work for us. That's cool. This is the justice we've been waiting for. The power brokers who spent years looking down on us as Americans, lying to us, whether it's in the media, you see them over there backtracking and kowtowing and bowing and bending the knee and kissing the ring. You see what they're doing? They know it's on. Now they're finally being held accountable. Trump said he's going to move the FCC in the White House. So anything they say ridiculous, he's moving the FCC in the White House, and he's going to personally determine who gets hit with these $100,000, million fines. So they're panicking. They are literally panicking. The man has said, I'm going to be a dictator on the first day, and that's probably going to extend to the first few years. So let them scheme, let them cry in their overpriced coffee, because for the first time in a long time, they're the ones who feel powerless. And us, shit. Come on, man. We get to sit back, enjoy it, and know this. They made their bed, and now they're being forced to lie in it. See, this isn't just change, family, it's karma. And for once, it's on our side. You understand me? Let's just sit back and watch the shit show. Anyway, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Urban Eagle. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. TIQS, good looking out, fam. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I would always like to get 20, but y'all gave me 13. It'd be nice to get another 7. Maybe you guys give it to me when the broadcast ends. Shout out to TIQS. Big shout out to Telvin King. He said Coca-Cola tastes better in Mexico. I would agree. Black Samurai Trump is going to reset everything in 2025. Keep it up, Uncle. I shall, brother. Red Sigma, good looking out. CB4 is 40. Thank you, contribute to the haircut fund. Yeah, y'all see that. Uncle D got his hairline back. Look at me. That's right. Look at that. See, the thing is, I got a big head, okay? And it's round in the middle. So if I get the little beard, it makes it a little long at the bottom and a little Brillo pad at the top. So it make my head look, less round in the middle. Shout out to my barber. But thank you so much for contributing to the haircut. Who else we got up in here, man? Eyes open to I can't say that. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much for keep all of us informed. I like the way you explain things. Yeah, I tried to do a good job, man. I got kids. I got to explain these complicated things to these children. they're gonna understand what's going on. Timothy Rushdan, thank you so much, family. I appreciate you. Good look at our Stoic Nomad. Thanks for what you do, Uncle D. I hope I can reach out to you for a quick consultation one day. Trying to be a man about town. Oh yeah, hit me up, baby. That's one of my subjects. Yeah. Give me a call, man. Email me at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. We can schedule a consultation. I can hook you up with some people, whatever country you're in, so you can, move and shake and do what you got to do, man, accumulating power. Another one, TIQS, I'm glad Unc said that he's the only one who missed the Vivek and Elon can't be bought. Yeah, they can't be bought. They already rich. Both of them are rich. What are you going to do with a man that's got all the money? Elon Musk laughed at somebody. What are you going to bribe me with money? Money? Money's nothing. This man probably don't need money. What do you mean money? I own everything. Okay, I'm sending rockets into the sky. I love that. Shout out to my man, Mr. Clay. Thank you so much for the Cash App. And let's see, we got 14 super chats. Let's see if we can get 20 before we finish. Who else we got down here? We need 6 more. Give me 6 more super chats so I can be 20, and that'll be plenty. Simeon Toko, here's 10 on the next lineup. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get that. I got a widow speak, but I said, man, cut that widow speak off today. Let's get me lined up. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Yeah, baby. Yeah, buddy. Uncle D with that fresh lineup. Look at that, boy. Look at that. It's like I'm 10 again. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I got that 10-year-old hairline again. It used to be down here. But anyway, shout out to my man, Mr. Toko. Thank you so much. And then also, TIQ, sorry, Unc, I mistyped. You're the only content creator who has mentioned Elon Vivek cannot be bought. That's the key element in building dog. It is. You can't buy them. They got more money than the budget is worth. You know what I'm saying? So you can't buy them. Shit, I love that. Logic is, Dennis, I'm putting you in charge of the Office of Snowflake Relations. You're perfect for navigating this blizzard of emotions, President Trump. Yeah, they going through it, aren't they? They so sad out there in these shit. Yeah, rights. Shut up. Shut up. You still got rights. All these people complaining about what they don't have, and this is America. You'll be fine. Sit back and drink your cafe latte. Yeah, man, I definitely will. I've talked to them. They ain't gonna get no love from me. Sit yourself down. Sit your ass. That's why I sit your ass down and be quiet. Let that man work. Sit your ass down. I tell them like that. But anyway, Miss Eyes Open. This is you saying my profile name correct. I'm trying doing the best I can. Eyes Open the IFI. It's open IFI. That sounds like it could be a Nigerian name, okay? And you guys want to know why is it that I am able to imitate the Nigerian accent so much? Because I live, number one, I go to school. I'm a science major when I was in school. And so I would sit and listen to the Nigerian professor, and I learned this from him. Okay? Hey. So that word sounds like eyes open IFI. That sounds something. That sounds like a Nigerian word. So I'm good with that. But anyway, shout out to you, baby girl. Appreciate you. Also, Eric Thurman, 80. We got 16 super chats. If I can get 4 more, I'll be ready to go. But Eric Thurman said, we have to get back to comedy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Why would you hire somebody just because of the color of their skin? Don't you want the best person? Fellas, let me have a conversation with you. If you needed an operation on, let me pick a place. Let's say your balls. Let's say your balls needed an operation, okay? Are you just going to get somebody because of the color of their skin, or you going to get the best person? You going to put your balls in somebody's hand that doesn't know anything. They're a foot doctor, but because they're black, you just going to say, here's my balls. Go ahead and, no, you wouldn't. That'd be stupid. You wouldn't want to put anything that valuable to you in the hands of somebody just because of the color of their skin. You want competence, not color. So yeah, you're right. We do need to get back to common sense. But shout out to you, Eric Thurman. Big shout out to Don 103, little something for Uncle D, the Blizzard King, aka the Cold Shoulder. That's right, baby. Good looking out. Thank you so much. Papa D, stop cutting your own hair. See, you know what? What you talking about? I don't cut my own hair. But sometimes I will give it a little line up, but then sometimes I go a little too high. You understand what I'm talking about? And it is what it is. You know, sometimes you just don't have time to go down there and wait. First, you got to drive to the barbershop. Then you got to go down there and wait for a little while. But I'm going to stop cutting my own hair. I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to try to salvage what hair I got left, especially on this side of my head. But you see, Uncle D got them good waves up there back in the day. But anyway, man, I've had a good time with you all. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the Super Chat, Cash App, and the paper. I hope y'all learned something. If you learned something, man, you can hit me up on the Super Heart after this thing closes out. I appreciate that. Like I say all the time, shout out to my man, Hoss Martin. I appreciate you, fam. Thanks for being a mentor to so many. I do my best, brother. Good looking out. Oh, man, we got 18 Super Chats, 2 more, and I'll be ready to go. But I'm going to probably leave early. But anyway, like I said, sit back and watch this thing play out. We were due for a revolution. Oh, shout out to Live the Experience. Keep up the great content. I will. Thank you so much, man. We got 19, man. I know somebody's going to give me 20 Super Chats before we roll up out of here. But let me finish and say this. Don't take these politics personal. Because as you see, all of that rhetoric these folks was saying to each other, and then you see the following week, Joe Biden is sitting down, shaking hands with Donald Trump, smiling. You see people like Joe Scarborough and his wife, Mika Brzezinski, they flew their butt down to Mar-a-Lago after calling this man Skittler. Just remove the S, Skittler. They called him Skittler. And now they went down there to beg him for attention. You understand what I'm saying? And here you are, you fell out with your family members. You're not going home for holiday because your mama told you not to come because she found out you voted for Donald Trump. You voted for that evil man. I can't believe that. You told us out. Shout out to my man TIQS. 20 for the 20. Yeah, good looking out, man. I got 20 and that's plenty. So just think about that. Don't take it personal. It's time for some change. We need some change. America's overbloated. And look, again, I don't want y'all to sit up here and have listened to me for the past hour and a half almost. I'm not advocating one party or another. I tell you to vote your interest. Vote your interest now, vote your interest forever. Vote your interest, okay? It might be the Democrats for you this time, might be the Republicans next time. The time after that, you might say, hell, I'm just going to stay at home because it's not in my interest to vote. It's in my interest to stay home. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Good shout out to my man Papa D. Go ball, start up. I'm not going ball, okay? Just because you ball, Papa D, don't mean I'm going ball, all right? I got the hair on my head. I'm going to keep it. But anyway, I love you guys. God bless y'all. As I always say at this time, this is Uncle D, and I am.
In the Spurling podcast, hit the like button, subscribe.
Mm-hmm.